Why is it that the majority of people, they invest in property, they believe that property is a great investment, but then things do not work out? I'm going to give you maybe one of the reasons, and we can start by asking the question, what are the hidden costs of buying investment properties? Because the moment that we know how to sort this problem out, we're basically not going to have problems. Now, what causes this? I think it's confolculation. Confolculation is when you do not know that you don't know what you're supposed to know. And because of confolculations, we do not understand risk. And it's the risk in, let's call it property investments or in any investment, that keeps people and investors busy, but definitely not free. So most investors do not crash loud. They literally stagnate quietly. What do I mean with that? When you invest in property, you're going to find that you don't lose everything. Property is one of those things that it's not like the crypto market or the stock market where you can lose by betting one stock, for example, and then when it crashes, everything crashes. A property will always have value, right? And I've also seen over the last 23 years being a mentor that people do not deliberately make mistakes. They do their homework. They try to find a deal that is going to work. At least that's what they think. Now, they are looking for good deals, and for that reason, the property exists for the next 10, 20, 30, even longer. While they are investing in it, there will be perhaps a price increase on condition that they've done it right. As they continue, the bond is going to reduce, and when they rent it out over a period of time, the rent increases. So it looks like everything works out. But there's a problem. The problem is that I've seen that freedom never arrives. So on the one side, we've got nothing collapse, but time pass without real progress. And this stagnation is the most dangerous of it all, because that opportunities and the growth that you could get, you're not going to get. And that is where the problem comes in. So the thing is that the majority of people are not uninformed. They are simply confolculated. Now, to understand what confolculation means, it's a mental state of mind when you do not know that you don't know what you're supposed to know. And therefore, investors never think to ask the right questions with what they are shown. So there's a presentation, they show the stuff, but then the investor, because they confolculated in a state of confolculation, they do not know how to ask the right questions. Now, what are these false beliefs that we've got in directly, so to speak? Right, the first one is that projection equals strategy. I think we've all seen it. People show you a graph, they show you the IRR, internal rate of return, and they show you in the first year that this looks like an incredible investment. Maybe they do a 5 or 10 year forward projection, they put it into an Excel spreadsheet and they tell you, listen, this is going to work. And then they add a lot of graphs with it, and they say that if you invest this much today, this is how much you're going to have at a later stage. I think the majority of us have experienced that full-fledged. Right. The question then becomes this. If the numbers look good, there must be a strategy. This is the way that I see my students are thinking. But the truth is, the projection is just math. It's a continuation of a certain set of assumptions. It does not tell you what happens when things go wrong. Now, a risk is when we do not understand what we're doing or we do not know what we're doing. So when things go wrong, because we do not know about this, that is when risk happens. As long as everything works out, no problem. It's the moment that things go wrong. So what decisions you must make under pressure. Now, if you haven't got the skill to back that up, that is going to be the end of that investment. Or they don't know how to respond when reality changes. Say, for example, there's a tenant and they do not pay. What do? That is where the problem comes in. Because they haven't got the underlying skill That is causing the problem. And that problem has then got the tendency to start magnifying and to grow. So the real strategy, the moment that we understand, there's actually only one question that we need to know. And that is, what do I do when this plan doesn't work? If you don't know that, if you don't know what to do if things do not work out, or if everything starts not working out. For example, the interest rate goes from 7 to 11.5% up to 21%. Right. Because of that, the market is flooded. You want to sell your property, you can't afford that property anymore. Now you're sitting with the problem because suddenly you're under the water because there are so many properties on the market, everyone wants to get out, and the property price drops. In one of the presentations, I'll show you one of the projects that I've evaluated to show you how bad it can become. So, if you don't know that, all you have, and with most people that they have got, is a hope. And that hope is based on the numbers that they saw. But as we can see, those numbers are not going to work out. So the second false belief that I'd like to touch on today is models equal control. Now, what does it mean? This one is a little bit more subtle. It's because most models look professional. You know, they feel scientific, they reduce anxiety, there are spreadsheets, and it looks great. There are graphs that shows the risk categories, there are pie charts, there's asset allocation, and it looks great. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The model explains basically the past. It does not control the future. So if you are not in control, then you can't change the outcome when things start turning south. You can't intervene because you haven't got the skills to change the situation. And you can't influence the decision. So control doesn't come from models. Control comes from skills, from judgments, from options, and from decision-making abilities. Now, with property, the bright thing and the wonderful thing is that we can stress test these things way in advance. And we stress test it to such an extent, if everything turns south, that we can still make it. If that deal works and your IGR is bigger than your FFGR, I'll explain that a little bit later on, for those of you that do not know, then it's a safe deal. But if not, then if something goes wrong and you don't know this and you haven't got the skill, then all you can do is to wait. This means that you're never in control. Now, the third false belief perhaps is the most dangerous one of them all. And this is that buying equals progress. I've seen it. People feel that they are productive the moment that they buy something. But the problem is they are not becoming capable. They don't have the skills. They don't understand what it is that they do. They buy a fund, a unit trust fund. But they've got no control. It's their money. They put their money in. They are 100% at risk. But they've got no control over the risk or the growth of the fund manager and how the fund manager is going to perform. Or they buy a product or they buy a portfolio, but they don't understand what it is that they're doing. Now, emotionally, it feels like progress. For the simple fact that I am making provision for my retirement. I'm making provision for my financial freedom for my family. But the truth is that nothing has changed because you've got no skill, you've got no deeper understanding, and you have not increased the control whatsoever. This simply means that the ownership changed. In other words, a unit trust, now I've got a unit trust and I can say this is my unit trust, or I can say this is my property, but the capabilities did not change. So buying is not progress. Progress is when your ability to make decisions improve, right? Now, why is this systemic? This is perhaps the part that I see that most new students or people that are not serious investors, what they don't get. This is not accidental. The system creates these blind spots. So the financial system does not need you to understand what they are busy doing, because the moment that you understand, you're not going to do what they expect you to do. What the system wants is for you to participate, to buy their products and to stay within the system. So as long as you keep contributing, as long as you stay invested, as long as you don't ask too many difficult questions, the system is going to work. For the system, not for you, for the system. But once you understand how money really works, then you stop buying blindly. And that's dangerous for them, not for you, but for the system. That's dangerous. They do not want you to understand the truth. And perhaps at this slide, it brings me to the most important insight of everything. And that risk is not the investment. It's never the investment. Risk is always the level of understanding of the investor. If you don't understand what you're doing, risk is absolute 100% guarantee. Even in the so-called safe investments where they guarantee rentals and stuff like that, risk is guaranteed if you do not have the skills. So let's perhaps replace then these false beliefs with truth. Strategy is not a projection. It's a decision under uncertainty. Control is not in models. It's skills and options that gives you control. Progress is not buying. It's the capability that you've got to handle that you've bought in order to help you to get to your end goal. And this is why the financial freedom cannot be bought. It must be learned. So you can't give your money to someone else or on a project that you do not understand. The moment that you do not do that, you are at risk. Now, all skills must be learned. There's no ways that you can do it if you do not have the skills. And all skills are teachable and trainable. We are not born with that. And this is something that I've picked up between 86 and 87, 1987, where I discovered that property has got 27 variables, and each variable is a risk. And each and every one of those variables, believe it or not, now we can learn the skills to mitigate or to eliminate that. And this understanding of risk is then the foundation of everything that I'm about to cover. Because once you see confoculation, you cannot unsee it. It's impossible. So let's talk a little bit more what actually creates freedom and why skills matter perhaps 100 times more than any product. Risk is not volatility. We are conditioned. When I studied to become a certified financial planner many, many years ago, this was my belief, that risk is volatility. Risk is your inability to respond. That's what risk is. So the normal person, the amateur, they view risk as market downturn, as interest rate hike, as volatility, as political, as economy. The professional view risk as not knowing what they're doing or how to handle those variables, the risk, when they change. That is what happens. Let's look at this example. A trained pilot, when there's turbulence in the air, for him it's not a risk. It's just, let's call it information. So if you can identify a variable, understand its impact, and adjust deliberately and consciously, you are not gambling, you are managing the situation, the property investment. So what are some of these operational leaks that you need to be aware of before we can really continue with this, or before you can continue with your investments? Risk will reduce cash flow, and they reveal a lack of buffers. In other words, if I do not have the skills, then those risks becomes my reality, and that reality is going to show in terms of less profits. The first one maybe that most of you will be aware of is vacancy. Now, vacancy is not an exception, but inevitable. It's going to happen, especially if you've got a couple of properties. Now, even one empty month, this starts to compress the margins, and it disrupts the compounding effect that this will have. Now, if you've got the right system like the Property Pro investment system, we can factor that in before it actually happens to see what the effect is. But then there's something more, almost like sinister, attached to this, because most of the time when that property is empty, there are other costs associated with that immediately. For example, it needs to be repainted. The previous owner did some damage, right? But it's cost. So it's not only the monthly cost that cost you, also your expenses continue. You have to keep on paying the bond, as an example. You have to keep on paying the levies. You have to keep on paying the rates and taxes, even if there's no one there. And this is what causes a lot of problems. Another thing is maintenance. People buy into a new project or into a project where the estate agent or the letting agents will tell them, listen, this is low maintenance. Now, the problem with that is that problems arise in clusters and in cycles. It's not in monthly averages. So by deferring maintenance, you increase the problems. And people say, well, I haven't got the cash flow this month to be able to do it, because they don't know how investments really work. And for that reason, at the end of the day, maintenance is going to cost them 10 times more than what they expected by addressing that problem, by preventing that thing. And if you do not know what it is that you need to prevent, you're not going to do the things that you need to do. Another thing that plays a huge role that we need to understand, which is operational leak, is rates, levies, and taxes. You know, what I've seen, for example, and we know how to factor that in, is that rates and taxes goes up above inflation. Now, also, I see that a lot of people come with taxes and say, yeah, but it's tax deductible. There's something called ring fencing for the average homeowner. You cannot deduct that from your normal income. And if you even bought a property in a trust or in a PTY limited, and there's a loss, well, there's nothing to offset that loss against. So it becomes an accumulated loss. You'll get the advantage in 5 years' time. But when you start doing the sums and you see what is going to cost you because you could not do the deduction, it shows and reflects directly in terms of the end result, in terms of the growth, the internal growth that you're going to get. They call it the internal rate of return or your investment growth rate. We are working on the investment growth rate because it's the only accurate way in order to be able to do it. So the second group that we can call is your structural traps. And costs that often engineer or that is dismissed, but it traps the capital and it delays that compounding, that momentum that you're going to have. And that is upfront costs like transfer and legal costs. So growth lost before you start. So it reduces the starting capital and it delays the compounding curve. I see people love these new developments. They buy into it and the developer, for example, will say, listen, this thing, there's no cost. Everything is covered. And because they can qualify, if you're a first-time home owner, with 100% bond, guess what they do? They go for that deal. But if you think about it, now your capital is trapped, plus you are paying interest on that. Right. Another thing that I see that especially developers like to use is guarantee rentals. Now, this, my friend, is engineered comfort because they smooth the spreadsheet and inflate the early cash flow, but delay your exposure to reality. And in one of the videos, there's a project that I've evaluated today that I'm going to record and then show you how devastating this actually is. And then there's something else, and that is called opportunity cost. So if you start losing money and you can't get your IGR to be bigger than your FFGR, it means that you're losing time. And time is the most valuable thing. So this slows the asset trap. In other words, your capital cannot work the way that it should be working, or it could be applied far better somewhere else. The third group that I'd like to mention is the systemic illusion. And this, I think, is the most dangerous part and lies that we are telling ourselves. Let's get back to the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is that illusion of control. They literally freeze the assumption, inflation rates and stuff like that. But in a dynamic world, in real life, we know that things are not working the way that spreadsheet says. So if you do not have the ability or the flexibility to be able to stress this, to see what is a worst case scenario and how to handle the worst case scenario, you're going to have a problem. And for that reason, the no stress testing is, if you don't stress test this by using, for example, the Property Pro investment system, it becomes almost like a hope. And it's a hope disguised as planning. Now, we do not want to see the negative when we want to buy a property, or the person that presents the plan, the idea, they do not want you to see, but what is it, what can actually go wrong in this thing. And then the growth, there's a mismatch. Let me tell you quickly what that means. Your IGR versus your FFGR. Your FFGR is your financial freedom growth rate. This is how hard your money must work in order for you to be financially free within a time frame with the amount of money that you've got available. So your IGR is your internal growth rate. This is how hard your money is working by taking group 1, 2, and 3 into consideration, right? And now we have to compare this growth that you are actually getting versus the growth that you should be getting in order to become financially free. Now, if this growth that you are getting is lower than the growth that you should be getting, there's no ways that you will become financially free with the amount of money that you've got available over the period. And that is perhaps the biggest risk that I see that people are taking. So that is the silent killer, your IGR versus your FFGR. And this is the crucial difference between investment performance and the financial requirement that you need in order to get there. So your investment growth rate, what are the drivers? We have to look at the real performance, right? And what's going to happen? How is it going to contribute to help you in terms of to get to your goal? The FFGR is what you need over a period of time in order to get there. So if we measure your IGR and it's lower than your financial freedom growth rate, it means there's a gap, and that gap will always, over a period of time, becomes bigger and bigger. We call it the freedom gap. And if you are not aware of how it works, it will cost you your financial freedom. Now, when you've got a plan that you can do proactively, you can react before the event that's going to cause the gap comes about, right? The chances are 99.9% that you do not know your FFGR. So if you compare it to the FFGR, you will never reach freedom if your IGR is smaller than your FFGR. You cannot, and people neglect to do that. Now, I'll make a video if you want, and maybe in the comment section, let me know if you want me to show you and give you access to the Financial Freedom Planner so that I can help you with this part. Now, why is it that the cabal or the financial system as such prefer you to be confoculated? The system is designed to keep you dependent, not competent. There's an incentive structure. The industry is built on selling products. There are loans, the banks, for example, properties. The moment that you buy a property, the way that it's structured, there's a lot of people that's going to make money out of that. And if that property is not going to help you to get to your goal, you've got a serious problem. On top of that, no one in this industry, not the educational system or the financial system or the banking system or any of these systems, will ever teach you the skills, because the skill is what makes the difference between you following them, we call it expert-based investing, and you do what everyone else is doing, or you take control where you get to financial freedom. What are the consequences of this? The product sales system requires buyers who trust projections to absorb the risk personally. This is a big one. In other words, the banks will never be at risk. The estate agents, once they've received their commission, can't be at risk. The people that is doing the work, the attorneys, the auditors, no one is at risk. The only person that's going to be at risk will be you. And it's a long-term risk. It's not a once-off risk. So what's the trade-off? Investors are giving certain tools. For example, when there's a new development, they are going to show them with brochures and it looks great and be told what the outcome is going to be. Instead of you taking the responsibility to think and to have a system in order to forecast what can go wrong and how to, because you've got the skill, how to counteract that. Right. So the system works on hope instead of competence. Competency is the moment that you've got the skill because you've got the practical experience, because you've gained the applied knowledge and you can do it in real life and you can see and forecast the future before it actually arrives. So the toolbox does not build a house. A skilled craftsman does. And your job as an investor, that is if you want to invest in property, is to become a skilled craftsman. And this is basically what we do at the Wealth Creators University. We help people to be able to do it. So the toolbox does not build a house. For the confoculated investor, they trust the projections. They fear volatility and they rely and actually depend on luck. And therefore, they use tools to predict the future, like a spreadsheet. And I've seen some spreadsheets that people that is even giving training, that is a horror the moment that you start getting into it. And maybe, again, I'll make a video to show you that. Now, what's a Property Pro investor? What do we do? Trust, skills. We know the only way to become successful is to gain the skills. Now, luckily, with the Property Pro investment system, it's not difficult to learn those skills. It can be taught in a very, very short period of time, and then you can apply it within 2 or 3 days. You'll start seeing the results. We know there's going to be volatility, so we know beforehand, because we've got the skill, how to manage that volatility. We rely on internal adjustment. In other words, our mindset is playing a massive, massive role when we invest in properties. And therefore, if we can foresee the things that can go wrong, when it happens, we are not caught like the confoculated investor. Right. And what we do, we use the tools to manage the present situation. Because unless your tool can handle what is happening right now, take into consideration the past as well as the future, it is not a tool. So it's not a spreadsheet that you need. You need a tool to be able to do this. Risk, therefore, is not offset by spreadsheets. Risk is offset by skills. And it's only the skills. It's when you understand what you're doing and when you anticipate what can go wrong and you know how to offset that before it happens, that makes you a great property investor. Now, what's the antidote to all of this? We've talked a lot, and it may even sound like it's a lot of negativity here. And it's not. It's after 23 years, 24 years now, experiencing and mentoring people and seeing what they are doing. This is why I want to emphasize what's going to go wrong. Because now that you know that, you can start planning for if that happens, and you know it's not going to be a worry. So the Property Pro investment system, basically, it identifies all these variables, not only in South Africa, anywhere in the world. And not only residential property, commercial property, Airbnb, student properties, investments, any property, anywhere in the world. And then it measures the IGR in real time. And then you compare that to your FFGR. And if this property can't give you with all the skills that you built and that you built into the system, and with all the negativity can't help you to get to your financial freedom growth rate, you walk away. Because now I can make a conscious decision before I enter into that property deal, because I know if things go wrong, how I'm going to handle them. And then when I pick that, I've structured literally an asymmetrical deal because I've only got upside. So what this Property Pro investment system does not do is it does not predict the future. It shows you what's going to happen under certain circumstances. And all it does, it promises certainty. What it does do is to equip you to handle the future. Because if these negative things that I've talked about, and these are only a couple of the 27 variables that can go wrong, if it happens, you know how to handle it. In other words, that gives me and you then the confidence to invest in property. Now, this applies not only in property, it applies in crypto, it applies in the stock market, in any investment in a business. You have to have this basic understanding and knowledge, right? Now, what is the deconfoculated filter? Here's the trick. Before you buy, and this is a tip that I'd like to give you guys, is ask these questions to test your readiness. First of all, what variables can change in this transaction? Right. Secondly, how will I detect those changes very early? The right way is to predict those, because we've got the history. We know what can go wrong, is to predict it before it actually happens. But we also need a way to detect, to see, but there's a problem coming. And how does this going to affect my IGR? Not on paper, but right now. How will I be able to offset? How will I be able to handle the cash flow as an example? Right. What does keep me above my FFGR? And how can I use this investment that I'm going to make or that I've got to stay above my financial freedom growth rate? Now, another question that I think is important is, where am I deliberately acquiring the skills to manage this? Now, very few people actually go out of their way and have a little program to acquire the necessary skills. So if you can answer these, then the risk is not in the market. But if you can't answer this, the risk is with you. And I think it's important that we need to understand this, that we enter into a deal knowing what can go wrong and how it can go wrong. So I really hope that this little presentation has helped you. My friend, the market doesn't reward hope, it rewards competence. Financial freedom is built on skills that turn risk into something that you can manage. That risk, what's a risk for someone else, that is what becomes our opportunity. So what I'd like you to do is, I've written an article, it's on my blog. You'll see there's a link somewhere, or perhaps this is above the blog, so you can just scroll down and read it to get a lot more insights. And then there will be links to articles that will dive even deeper into this. And I hope that you're going to do it. That if you're serious, I know that you're going to do it. If you're not, then I don't think you would be with me at this stage. But you know what? I've also got the Property Accelerated Masterclass. And what I'd like you to do is to, again, there will be a link somewhere on this page or in this blog that's going to direct you to the next one. Maybe you're going to land on a waiting list, but make sure to approach that and to be present and to listen to what I'm saying, because it's going to change your life. Now, if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask me, then please feel free to let me know. So maybe I can do a video or a lesson like this. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. And I hope that this will help you to become an incredible investor. Because the moment that you know how to invest in property and you know how to get 55 and 65% plus, right? In the Wealth Creators Method, we can help you to do even far better than that. In the webinar, I'm going to explain a lot more how we buy properties without even going to the banks, because we've got the skills, and how we turn 100 Rand into 10 million property within 3 years, and how you can start with literally a cent on condition that you've got the skills. Now, I know for most people it sounds ridiculous, it sounds too far-fetched. Come and see what we are doing, how we're doing it, how we prove that. I think you've entered, if you're not already, into this world, and a world that is unlimited potential. All you have to do is to tap into it, develop yourself, and become that investor that can guarantee your future. Thanks for your time. I'll see you in the next one.